Your brother, man, he suffered another knee injury in his last fight, man. How is he doing? I see he's doing rehab and everything. He got the surgery, right?
Yeah, he's doing good. He just got a surgery, not an ACL surgery. It's going to be between 6 and 8 months, but was way better surgery. He's already doing the recovery. He's doing very good, and I think this surgery is way better than the last surgery. They just gotta do a new tunnel to put the ligaments in, but everything seems very good. Way less painful this time. No more. The last time he had a lot of pain for the whole process, and he didn't heal proper. But this time he's healing very good. He's feeling better, so I hope it's gonna be a very successful surgery and recovery.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so, man. All the best to rehab and recovery. Other big news is Sanford MMA becoming Killcliff Fight Club. Does that change anything for the fighters?
Um, I think I don't think so, and I think if it change for the better, because now we had a larger deal, for the team, for the coach. So the coach is going to get paid. We don't need the 10% of the fighters to the gym going on. So we have a major sponsor. They're going to take care of the facility and the coach for a large time. I don't know if it's 3 or 5 years, but it's a large deal. So we secure for a couple of years just because of the sponsors. And the Kill Cliffy was one of the big ones. So it feels good, to see our coach being taken care, the gyms being taken care. So right now we have like I think 4 or 5 coaches, and then we planning on having more coaches. And they just renewing the facility. The facility is already nice, but they're gonna make it look better. It's gonna be all black and gold, and it's gonna look good. I think in the next Monday or Wednesday they'll be changing. We're not gonna be training there. We're gonna be training Hard Knocks and on my brother's gym, the way. And they're gonna renew the whole Sanford MMA now. Kill Cliff FC, and I think it's gonna look very good.
Yeah, I seen the mock-up video of what the gym would look like
Yeah,
in the Fuji mats with the logos and everything. It looks
yeah.
sick. The colors
I
are
didn't even
badass.
see it. See, you be better than me. I don't know how you're gonna look.
Yeah, go check it out. Social media. Social media, everything is there, right? So,
Yeah.
what can you do? So you did an interview with MMA Junkie. You're in Salt Lake City right now. You did an interview with MMA Junkie yesterday, saying that you and Jorge Masvidal verbally agreed to fight. Masvidal responds on Twitter saying, "Do
Yeah.
not believe anyone except for me." What's going on, Gilbert?
What's going on for real is the fight was offered to uh November 12th, MSG, but he had a procedure in his wrist, and he said he was not ready for November, but he will be ready for December, January. So if the UFC is not lying to me, and I don't believe they are. That's what he said. That he'll be ready December, January. He wants to fight. He said yes, but he cannot do in November. So that was his own words that UFC told me. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest. That was his words that I heard. I just said it. He said, "Don't believe." I don't know. And for me, it's super simple. Like we can. It's simple. You want to fight, we fight. You don't want to fight, we don't fight. Like you're not a kid anymore. No one's pressure you to fight. If you don't want to fight, we don't have to fight. There's a lot of guys out there for me to fight. But he was every single interview that he was doing, he was saying my name. Oh, I want Conor. If Conor now, I want the ring. I want Burns. He was the one saying that. But if you don't want to, I move forward. It's pretty simple for me. I don't need to. If you want, it's very simple. If you want to fight, we fight. If you don't want to fight, we don't fight. Like it's simple too. It's simple for me. I don't need no drama. I don't need nothing. You want to fight, we fight. You don't want, okay. I fight the other guy. He's okay.
Yeah, there's a few other guys, on the
Yeah,
list probably that you would like to fight.
yeah,
Did
one
you go to
hundred percent.
Vegas before you went to Salt Lake City? Did you meet with the UFC?
No,
No,
I
you did
went
not.
straight to Salt Lake City. Yeah,
Okay.
and then 2 days my son's birthday.
Oh, happy
I
birthday. What's his name?
he's Joshua. He's turning 8 today. He's the one that went to the fights with me. Both went to the fights with me, but they both loves the fighting. But I almost brought him here, but the schools were just back, so It was not a good idea to make sure he missed class right now, but he almost came with me. But yeah, it was his birthday. After so I just came to Salt Lake yesterday. I had a lot of things to do, helping Andrew with the weight cut. I got things to do tonight with Panini. I'm gonna train right now. We're gonna do Panini. Tomorrow we have the fights. We have a couple things with the UFC, and we're going to the fights. After the fights, I get a red eye fly back home to do my son's birthday party on Sunday. So it's gonna be rough.
Man, you're a father. That's a father's schedule, right?
Yes,
Like get the work done, and then
yes,
you gotta take care of
yes.
the family. Back to Masvidal, man. I think Masvidal is a smart guy. You know he's a smart guy. You're a smart guy,
Yeah.
and putting out that tweet, it just like opens the door because he could have been talking to you, or he could have been talking just to everybody in general, right? Do you think it could be like a negotiation ploy or something like get more money? Because that could be a possibility, right? He's had that in the past with the UFC.
I think what I heard, he just got a new deal with the UFC, so that's out of the equation. I just think he's hoping to Leon Edwards to win the fight and maybe get that fight on the way. I think that's the deal. But I do think, in answer to that, Kamara getting the win tomorrow night, then he's gonna eventually say yes. That's what I think. I might be wrong, but for sure he's playing games. You know, he's very smart, been in the company for so long, know how to do the negotiation, know how to deal, know how to sell. Very smart. I just think he's waiting for Saturday night before he signed anything.
When you did the interview, the internet of course goes crazy. They're posting, you know,
Yeah.
Burns versus Masvidal, December, January. Everybody thought it was going to be announced this weekend. To be honest with you, once you
Yeah.
did the interview,
Yes.
everybody's
Me
like,
too.
"Oh,"
I thought you. I thought
and
you.
you're in Salt Lake City as well, so it's like it makes sense, right? But what can you
It
do?
does.
Masvidal, if he can't fight, he could be injured. Like you said, there's something going on with his wrist as well. Who's the next biggest fight?
Two guys. I think two fights. The winner of Belal Muhammad and Sean Brady. I think he's a good option. Or Geoff Neal. Those are two guys. And I still believe the Masvidal fight's gonna happen. He just gonna try to wait up a little bit. But when I asked the UFC, that's the fight that UFC wants to do. It's not even me. So if the UFC cannot do this fight, then they're gonna offer me the other two fights. But I think that's a fight that they want to do. It's not even me. Like they want to do it. Masvidal said multiple times that he want to fight me. If not, I'll move. I'll move forward. I'll move on. Forward, I can't because forward just Shima, Leon Edwards, and Colby. I gotta move backwards anyway. So anyone, I don't care.
Why is Colby not an option for you right now?
I think Colby got a very bad injury with the sucker punch from Masvidal. He got surgery, and for as long as I know, he just available March next year.
Man, I want to ask you so bad. Like, what are the rumors in South Florida about Colby? Getting punched
Yeah,
and like,
that was the rumors that he was very bad. He had a neck injury. That nerve went very bad. He lost a little bit movements on the neck, but he kind of broke his jaw again. He had surgery, and the surgery didn't went good. He's still doing the PT. He's not training. He just, if everything goes okay, he's only back in March. That's what I heard. I don't. He's very. I don't know if it's true, but I know for guys that know him, know a lot of friends from him. I think it's true because he's been quiet. He don't say nothing. I think that's true. I think he's out until March next year.
yeah, because when I was thinking about what's the next best option for you, I would just think Colby because we don't know this information, right, about him being injured and stuff. He was quiet. UFC 283, Brazil, Colby Covington versus Gilbert Burns. I was
Wow,
like, dude, that's a blockbuster fight right there. Why would you not put
that
that
would be a
together?
dream. That would be a dream, but
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah,
But Kobe's always an option. So the if you ask me what's the best option for me, I would say Masvidal, December, January, and Kobe next. After that. So I don't know. Sometimes I think that would be the best, but maybe not. Maybe not happening. So I don't even know if a Masvidal fight is gonna happen. Now I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna go back home, stay with the family, back on training, get better, be stay in okay shape. So in case something happen in like a couple weeks, I can do it. So I'll be not fight ready, but I'll be like 60%, be in shape, ready, training. Something come up, I can push a little bit, get the cardio up. But I don't know. Now now I don't know, Sometimes we think, okay, now that I'm top five, it's gonna be easier. No, it's gonna be harder. It's even harder now.
It's definitely harder. I guess the options are not as many when you're
No,
coming up, because you
no,
could fight
yeah,
pretty much anybody and just
yeah,
get a paycheck and move up the rankings. You know what I mean? You said MSG is somewhere you really want to fight, and I
yeah.
think the only possible scenario for you to fight at MSG would be to fight at middleweight. Like, have you ever considered that? Have you ever considered going up?
For
Because
sure,
you're pretty big. Everybody
200,
tells me, yeah, 200. So
200.
let's
Yeah, and
work with me. Work with me. Scenario: UFC 281, MSG. Pereira pulls out. UFC scrambles. They can't find a title challenger at 185. No one takes the fight. They call you. You take the fight on short notice.
for 100%. Anyone, I was, to be honest, I was hoping to go to London to fight Jack Hermanson. I asked for the fight, but I think I missed the opportunity for like 5 minutes because they offered to Kurds, and then he said yes. And then they were doing the contract, and then I call, hey, give me the fight. But I said, shit, now he said yes. But yeah, for sure. Middleweight, I don't need no weight cut. 15 pounds, I can make it middleweight tomorrow. I'm just gonna be like I said, I've been training, I've been getting better. Uh I just think you gotta speed up a little bit, be a little bit in better shape in those if those opportunities show up. But that's what I'm gonna do now. Coming back home, I've been traveling so much. I don't have a lot of travels in the next couple weeks. I'm just gonna be pushing a little harder, getting better and hoping to get any good news about fighting next.
Exactly. Sticking with the middleweight division, this week Luke Rockhold, he's been in the news a lot, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this Luke. You know what I mean?
Me too.
You've trained with him. You've been around him a lot, and he was scolding, like a reporter, from Full Send for giving Marlon Vera like one of those Mexican Nacho Libre masks, but he's from Ecuador. If someone did that to you, what would your reaction be?
Yeah. He's weird, You get a couple guys. I got a couple of things like that, a couple fans, and yeah, he's hard, It's
But a
you get a
reporter's
lot
a
of
professional,
fans.
though. Fans is different.
Yeah, used to be right. It used to be been changing a lot. You got a lot of reporters that they get a little bit. How do I put that to don't sound so bad? But they got a little hook up with a couple managers that for these athletes they're not gonna ask a little spicy questions, but for the other athletes they will. And I have couple reporters that they don't do so good in my management. They hook up with the other management that they if they had the opportunity to talk to me, they're gonna try to just make you kind of harder questions. So it is a little bit of game, and I don't know. This guy was always cool with me. I always liked him. I remember he's from Florida, so I did a lot of interviews with him. He was always cool with me. He never did something like that, and I think he does a pretty good job. But he's one of the reporters that you saw what happened with Nate Diaz. He got slapped from Nate Diaz. Now he got uh, you know, he got that thing from Loki. So he looking for those things, he wants to be that kind of guy. So and then we got the Shimura that has all the character, all the thing, and then you got Ariel that pushed up to one side, and then you got so they sometimes I don't know, like nowadays it's changing, they're not just reporters, they don't even want to give you the news, the breaking news. They want to give you, look, Rockhold talk shit about the UFC. They one of those headlines that people gonna click. So it kind of changing a little bit the way they doing. So I don't know. It's hard to get a side on that. I think the guy tried to be funny with the mask. I don't think he did nothing about Mexican. San Diego is very Mexican culture. I kind of got a little bit what he said about the movie. You just do a thing with me with a mask. I don't think I saw the interview before. I don't. He didn't say nothing about Mexico or Ecuador, but it might sounds bad for Chito, but it is what it is. Like I don't know.
Yeah. It is changing, and I think fighters
Yeah,
are starting to understand that they can use the media
yeah,
for their career. You know what I mean? To advance their career, to to get better fights. And I'm
yeah,
glad fighters are doing that because you got to
yeah,
get paid, right? Pay has been
for
a big
sure.
topic.
And then even nowadays, the news will be out there. Will be on those outlets. The biggest outlets with the best reporters, with the podcasts, with YouTube. That's it. People don't watch TV as much nowadays. They're not gonna watch the news on the TV. They're not. It's no more magazine. It's no more paper news. It's podcasts, social media, YouTube, and those big outlets. So we got to take advantage on that on the
Yeah,
best way possible.
yeah. I'm waiting for you to bring your YouTube back. I'm waiting for
Soon,
it.
not
So
now, not
okay,
now,
all
soon.
right, all right. Another former training partner of yours at Kill Cliff Fight Club, Rory MacDonald. Man, he retired from MMA. Quick thoughts on his career and just being around him and training with him.
And the crazy thing is, the London postman is from Cliff. They train together, and they know each other super well. And but a little bit of experience they had with Rory, he's a very good fighter, high level, crazy grappling, good takedowns, good timing, good striking, good mentality to going to the fight, very smart. And a little bit of experience that I had, maybe 2 3 months training with him. I learned so much, and I like him very much. And but it's time, those guys. I think he started very, very young. I think his first fight, he wasn't even an adult. He had someone sign this, like his parents signed it for him. And yeah, it's been so long. Like it's a long time getting, training hard, competing on the highest level. He was a good, like a little bit that I had, the experience that I had with him was great, and the way he was fighting to enjoy a lot of his fights. So I hope he enjoyed his retirement with his family. But yeah, we're gonna miss him. He's one of the good guys.
Yeah, he is. He is one of the good guys, and I think a lot of fighters are going to be able to learn lessons from his career. Like you said, he started really
100%.
early, and now he's retiring, and he's not even really that old. I mean, maybe it's just his
No,
time
yeah.
to hang it up. As a fighter coming up and getting these big fights, do you think to build your career, to better your career, is it better to be a main to be on the main card of a pay per view or headlining a fight night show?
I think two things are very important, right? Uh, I think the difference between Kamaru Usman, Adesanya, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, uh, all those big fighters is the pressure that they have, like leading a pay-per-view card, Conor McGregor, all those big names. As much time you kind of dealing with this pressure, you're getting better. Next time is not that big. MSG, 3 title fights, you headline that. Next time you kind of like you okay with the pressure. Next time is maybe another big one, but then eventually it's not that big, not that new. And those guys are doing that on a daily basis. Every Kamaru fight at the same is very big. I think they getting the like they learning the pressure that a lot of people are not, and I think that makes a lot of difference. A fight night in the Apex is big, but it's not that big. You don't have a lot of media. I remember when I did my main event. I did 2 main events in the Apex. Tyron Woodley and Kamara. Tyron Woodley was easy. I had a couple of little interviews, like not much. Shit, the title fight was a lot of interviews, a lot of work, a lot of opportunity. But then that one with Hamza was as big as pay per view. It was a lot of interviews, a lot of shit to do. So every time for me, I'm getting better. I'm learning more. I'm getting more press, more this, more that. So you're learning with this pressure, you're growing with that. At the apex, you're not growing as much. It's a lot of difference for a big pay per view and in a fight night. I do believe now that is the fight night's kind of going around, it might come back a little bit, get bigger again. But is a big difference from headline pay-per-view and headlining a fight night. Like the common event of fight night, whatever, sometimes it's not a big guy. The whole main card on a pay-per-view card is big, so I think those experience at the end of the day makes a lot of difference. You grow so much from those experiences.
All right, one last question, man. Leandro Lo, man. RIP. He was
Yeah.
shot and killed in Brazil earlier this month. You competed against him years ago. I remember watching some like gi match, you and him. Like
Yeah.
25 minutes is nuts, right? He's a legend
Yeah.
in the jiu-jitsu world. You're a legend in the jiu-jitsu world. What do you remember most about your interactions with him?
He was one of the good guys. Shoot, great guy, crazy, electric, a lot of good energy. That was the guy that comes to a place and he changes the mood. He always puts on a laughing mode, a good mood, a happy mood. I competed against him 4 times, and he was one of the guys that made me a lot better because first time that I saw, I beat him 3 times and I lost the last one. That was the longest one, but I beat him 3 times. But that was his beginning on the black belt. I was already black belt when he came, and I beat him. And I said, "Man, the guy's very good. Shit, there's another one on my division now that I gotta look for." And then he makes me a lot better because I had to train a lot harder. And I respect every single one of these guys that make me better, make me train hard, make me think about, oh, these guys here now, I gotta train harder. So he's one of these guys, and he make me a lot better. So that's all my respect in that. But then he was one of the great guys. Where the guy was funny, always with dancing. Not even like people that don't know him, you might think that he was like disrespecting, but that was he. He was always dancing, always having fun. And unfortunately, that situation happened in Brazil. I hope we get justice on that. I know it's going to be very tough because the law in Brazil sucks. You can always go around and make it happen. He got a very good lawyer. We have the goalie Bruno that he was a murderer. He murdered his ex girlfriend and he buried her. And then later on, they found the body and they know it was him. All the accusation, all the proof, and that guy just was in jail for a little bit, and he's free. No, he got free from this lawyer. He's a famous lawyer in Brazil that defends all the bad guys. That's the lawyer, and we heard that's the lawyer that the cop got. He's a very good lawyer. Like he does the impossible. So uh, I hope justice got served, but knowing that's going to be the lawyer is going to be very tough.